What's going on, guys? ChaseWins.com, Venture Sports Consulting. Happy Monday. Start to another week, guys. It is the 27th of July, and we're going to do a recap. Did not have anything for Sunday, which is rare. Going through any sport, really, but especially Sunday baseball, the wrapping up of the week, the weekend series, going into what will be an off day for some teams, travel day, or the beginning of a new series going into Monday. A lot of bullpen action. There's always a big Sunday night game. We're talking about in generality of most seasons. Obviously, this is a much different season that we're dealing with here. And so really at any time of the year, especially now, it is beyond rare that I wouldn't have any premium and or top plays for Sunday. But like I've been saying, and like anybody that's been with me in the past knows, usually for the first few days of the major league season, I don't release anything. I want to see teams in action before I put money on them. But value was there. A lot of players, teams, and strategies were underestimated. So we actually had a big weekend. 6 plays in total released in the MLB between Friday and Saturday. Big start to the season, but there was no value on Sunday that I could find, or that based on what I like to see, my standards, the way that what I consider value, there was nothing. About 11 a.m. Sunday morning is when I decided to scratch the early card completely. It's when I had made the final decision. Okay, none of these early games are going to meet my standards, my criteria. I still had 2 games that I had circled that had the possibility of making it and being released. One of those games was the Angels and Oakland game, but someone that I have preached about, no one can deny my obsession with, Shohei Ohtani. Since before he ever was signed by the Angels, before he had ever really anybody even knew who the guy was, because you just do not hear about a lot of international players unless they have previous experience in Major League Baseball. So, especially when you talk about the locals there, someone that is from another country playing in an international league, you don't hear about those guys unless they get the opportunity to play, in America. But being that I've followed international baseball for so long, how often is it that you see, such a dual threat player, someone that can pitch and be a big threat at the plate? I have given out more stats, more love, more praise, and more reasonings why I think that he is the most dangerous player in the game of baseball. I know that it's a unanimous decision that Mike Trout is the best player in the game, maybe the best player that we've ever seen. I think that's a stretch, guys. Do I love Mike Trout? Absolutely. I know people are going to take this out of context and be like, oh, what do you have against Mike Trout? I love Mike Trout. I think he's a beyond incredible ball player. I think he's an even better human being. I think he's a fantastic role model. Truth be told, when you talk about any of the biggest names in a sport, so you talk about Mike Trout in baseball, you talk about LeBron James in basketball, you talk about, I guess right now you'd probably be talking about Patrick Mahomes, but in years past, in football, with all the names that would be your biggest names, I think he's the best role model in sports, and that's big for me. As a father, especially a father of girls, I think being a role model is huge. So I think Mike Trout deserves all the praise that he gets. But to say he's the greatest baseball player that's ever lived, whew. And I know that you can't win a World Series by yourself, but King Griffey Jr. never won a World Series. So, yeah, him not winning one with Seattle was a big deal. And yes, I know that you have players that are fantastic Hall of Famers and one of the best, but the greatest player of all time? Because there's still things that Mike Trout isn't elite at, like base stealing. I don't think Mike Trout's an elite base stealer, but he's also built like a linebacker, so nobody would expect him to be. Ohtani is elite in every category: running, throwing, pitching, hitting, everything. He isn't just a five-tool player. He is an elite five-tool player. Problem is, I didn't want to put my money on him his first game back in 650-something days. I mean, he's just shy of 2 years without stepping on the mound. So I couldn't put my hard-earned money on that. Not to mention we didn't know how deep he would go. And the poor guy didn't even clock an out today. Didn't make it out of the first inning, and he didn't even record a single out. Now, the thing is, he got screwed not recording a single out. There was two. He should have had 2 outs based off of strikeouts alone that were, I mean, there was no question they were strikes that got called balls. So I think that as far as mentality goes, O'Shea is probably the most calm-mannered person, and he'll be able to bounce back from it quick. But somebody hadn't played in 2 years. I'm not going to put my money on that. But to be honest with you, I really thought that there was going to be a pitching change there. I didn't think they'd let Ohtani go today. And I thought it would come at the last minute. Had they made that, we'd have been playing the Angels. I think the Angels would have also won. I don't think Mike Fiers is near what they say he is. I think that he is, I'm not going to get into the cheating scandal. I just think he's a punk, truth be told. But that, and then I was also looking at the Dodgers game. I wanted there to be another pitching change within the Dodgers. I mean, the Urias going up was great and everything, but the bullpen situation just wasn't stacked correctly. So, I think that was really going to hurt them. And last I looked, the Dodgers are losing. So, from what I can see around the industry, a lot of money was lost today. Too bad, so sad. We laid off today for good reason. I think that it was a smart thing to do. And rare Sunday with no NASCAR. So, and we have one horse racing event that we were looking at. And then as we were kind of getting the card ready, there was some pop-up thunderstorms that hit. And being that it's all dirt tracks at that establishment, it changed, obviously the aesthetics of everything. I mean, obviously the conditions of everything were now different and had changed. So I made the executive decision that nothing was going to get released on that regard as well. So rare, no Sunday of action, but we'll be right back in it on Sunday. So being that we did not do a video for Sunday because no action obviously, let's do a recap for the MLB that we had on Saturday because I know some people are wondering about that. Coming off of opening day, Friday, 3-0 sweep, blowouts across the board, and a great 3-0 start to the season. We go into Saturday with 3 more plays. The free play that I gave you for Saturday on video was a premium play, and it was the Atlanta Braves on the money line minus $1.10. Max Fried, Steven Matz going up, and then obviously the breakdown that I gave you on video. You can go back and watch that if you want. That was a really good game. It really, really was. Went into extra innings. That's when the Braves blew it wide open, taking a 5-2 lead, and then I think, 5-3 is what it ended at, but nevertheless, a nice premium winner there. You got it for free, and it was on the card as well. The other 2 games that I had was the St. Louis Cardinals on the money line. That one opened high. As I said on video, there was one that I was looking at that I wanted that line to come down because Trevor Williams deserved more credit than he was getting as a pitcher. And even though, rightfully so, the Cardinals were favored. And truth be told, just based on sheer statistics, that minus 160 range they were sitting at is understandable. But Trevor was getting no credit for the decent pitcher that he is. And you know what? He's not terrible against the Cardinals. Finally, we had some money coming in, people backing Trevor for the correct reasons. The number came down, and William Hill Vegas got it at 145, so we hopped on it then immediately as a premium play. I had a huge write-up. And guys, if you ever kind of want to see, I don't just write a few sentences. I mean, these are decent-sized write-ups that I do, and these are actually small ones compared to what I usually do. But minus 145 on the money line. I wish it would have been a little bit lower, but nevertheless, it was a 9-1 absolute blowout winner for the St. Louis Cardinals, that making it a 2-0 day. And then our final play of the day was the Philadelphia Phillies, and we actually took them on the run line. So we could have taken them just a little bit higher, right around 150. which, would have been right there around the same as the Cardinals, but we took them on the run line to get plus 105. And the plus money didn't mean a ton because, what's plus 105? But that gave you true value. It gave you no risk, in a juice setting, and then it also gave you, the little bit of plus money. So it just made the value go up on the game. So we took them on the run line instead of the money line. Zach Wheeler, Caleb Smith, and that was a nice easy winner as well. Started out good, then it was tied for a while, and then the Phillies blew it wide open. And that was it. So another 3-0 day. So the first 2 days of the MLB season, 3 games each. All 3 winners on both days. Starting off MLB 2020 at a clean 6-0 undefeated record. As I've said before, the MLB King's not going anywhere. There's a lot of people that can say they can take my crown. I think you know who a lot of those people are. And my response to that is, children, please. I've made people's names before. I can do it again. But the one that I'm worried about is letting everyone know who the MLB King is, and all of my clients know it as well. So let's get on to some MLB for Monday. Now, what I want to announce is we had some discounts going on this weekend, and they were set to end at midnight tonight. It's still Sunday night. So I'm going to extend those for 12 hours till noon on Monday because I'm going to stay up late and get this video out before I go to bed. Reason is we do have some early baseball. Not saying that we're going to have a play, but baseball starts around 3:30 p.m. Eastern time, I think. So there will be afternoon action on the board. So what I'm going to do is I know people are going to be up looking, researching, doing all that. So what was supposed to end at midnight tonight, being that we did not release any action for Sunday night or for Sunday in general, I'm going to extend it until noon on Monday, and then the discounts will die. Everything will go back to normal. Those discounts are as follows. The month-long package, 30 days, all plays, premium, and daily top play. Now, if we were to have a play of the week, play of the month, or play of the year in any sport, obviously those are not included. The only thing that includes or that allows you to get that without purchasing it separately is being an all-access member and being on an all-access subscription. I know that it was brought to my attention that some of the people that love to harp on everything that I do and say and basically they're just haters. Now they want to use the all-access term. I don't care. Let them use whatever they want. I mean, they can say that it's the Chase Wins subscription for all I give a shit. So, I don't care. It's flattering if you ask me. Anyways, so $3.99 is the normal price for that package. It's on sale right now for $2.49. That was going to end on Sunday at midnight, tonight at midnight, but it's going to end at noon Eastern time on Monday. So you've got a little while to get that. Save you $150 there. The all-access membership that is usually $4,000 is on sale for $3,000. That is one full year of everything. Every sport, every premium play, every daily top play, every game of the week, game of the month, game of the year, NASCAR, horse racing, everything. If it's released on my site, no matter how high, low, or in the middle, you get it for 365 days for $3,000. So, and that right there, if you bought everything separately, we've done the math on it, it's roughly a $19,000 value is what you would pay to buy every single thing you would get separately. So that, as well as the MLB season, $9.99. That gets you every premium and daily top play. We had a bunch of people jump on the season over this weekend. But that gets you every premium and daily top play throughout the entire regular season, the entire postseason, World Series, everything. $9.99. And I mean, we sell the MLB pass for $2,000, $2,500. Obviously, it's a shortened season. Doesn't mean we won't make as much money. So just remember that. There will be times where we're making more money in it just because how volatile the market's going to be, in certain situations. So we've got that. And then Patrick's NASCAR package is usually $500 for the entire season. $249 as well. That is going until noon. So make sure you jump on one of those. If you got a question on anything, send me an email, chase@chasewins.com. Myself or one of my assistant or one of my office staff will get back to you and answer the questions that you have, as quickly as we can. We answer everything in the order that it comes in. So let's get on a free play. And I'm going to take a team that I've talked about a few times already this year. And here's why I'm taking this game. Because we've got a very intriguing pitching matchup going on. Or to this point, we do. So Kendall Graveman for the Seattle Mariners, 29-year-old. Okay, he got drafted by Toronto in like the 8th or 9th round or something. He went to Mississippi State. Great college pitcher. He didn't have a single major league start in 2019. 2017 and 18 were his only other major league years where he was actually playing at big league levels. 2018 he went 1-5. He had an overall ERA just under 8. And he just doesn't have great command over his pitches. He's got a fairly decent arsenal of pitches, and when he's going out there against a soft lineup, he's just as good as any, middle of the pack pitcher that you're going to have. Now, going up against a team with, and I don't even like using this term because they deserve to be looked at the way they are, but the Houston Astros, they have kind of a chip on their shoulder. They have to go back out and reprove to people that they are a dominant and elite team that is a powerhouse. They have to reprove it all over again. So when they want to go out there and play and score, they've got to go out there and do it with a chip on their shoulder. So for people like us that are going to take them in certain circumstances, that's actually a benefit to us. They're going to throw in a gentleman that I have followed for a long time now. He's a 27-year-old. He's a young guy. He's in the prime of his career, if you ask me, and that's Josh James. Now, this could change because Houston they are the world's worst about changing a pitcher, mere moments before. I don't think that that's going to happen. I think that they're going to have to just live with the reality of things because Verlander is going to be out for a minimum of a month because they're not even going to reevaluate him for at least 2 weeks. So then even if they came back and said, okay, you can play whatever, because of training that he's going to have to do, because of doctor's appointments, because of procedures, whatever's going to go on, I bet you they make him do some quarantining, if you will, if he even comes back this year, which I think he will. I mean, they say it's a forearm issue, so we'll see. But the age that he's at and the place that he's at in his career, they're not going to risk it. So, I guess we'll just see what everything comes about. I'm sure we'll get more information on it this week. But Josh James, 27-year-old, and I mean, he was not known in college at all. He didn't get drafted to like the 35th or 34th or 35th round, something like that, out of like Western Oklahoma State. So, an absolute nobody, truth be told. He's pitched 2 years, and in 2019 he had 6 starts, went 5-1 overall with a 4.61 ERA. Not bad numbers, especially considering 2018 they only gave him 2 starts. He went 2-0, pitched 23 innings overall because he did have some saves and he did have some relief spots there, but he went 2-0. He had 3 saves. So, I mean, out of 6 games, he saves 3, and he outright wins 2 as a starter with a 2.15 ERA. Can't beat that. Somebody that has worked very, very closely with what is an elite pitching staff in Houston. They have compiled some of the greatest pitchers in the game, and they have stacked them the right way. That's why they won a World Series, played in multiples, and why I think they can win another one before Verlander hangs it up. So with him going in, I think that he's going in with the right mindset. I don't think that he's going to be overly cautious. I think he's going to let it fly. And here's the beauty of it. What did I preach about Dusty Baker? I think that there's great managers in baseball. I think Mike Matheny's a great manager. I think Joe Maddon's probably the best manager in the game. Joe Girardi's great. Dave Roberts is fantastic. But Dusty Baker, old man Baker, in his 70s, he wants a World Series so bad he can't stand it. It's the only thing in his career he hasn't accomplished. But you know what Dusty Baker is among better and far above any other manager in the game, no matter how young or old. He is the most fundamental man in baseball. There is no funny business. There is no, worrying about computers. I mean, yes, he knows how to bring analytics into him. I mean, it was just around, just the other day, really, that he was still the manager of the Washington Nationals. So it's not that he doesn't understand, computers and analytics and all of the new age technology that baseball has. That's not the point. The point is he does not, under any circumstances, let that take a front seat or come before the fundamentals of baseball, pitching included. So, what did Houston? I think Houston lost today to Seattle. All right. Houston has struggled in two of these games. We played them in their first game. They blitzed them. And truth be told, outside of that, they struggled. Considering what they're playing, they struggled mightily, win or lose. If it's even a game, that's considered struggling, whether you win or not. He did not stress that bullpen. Truth be told, he really didn't even scratch the surface of what they have. I mean, they've got an army of talented arms at middle reliever, and closer. Best in the American League, truth be told. So why did they not use that? You would say, why? Dusty wants these guys in the first 2 weeks to play with what they have. Don't rely on 15 relievers to come out and save a game for you. Don't rely on 15 relievers to come out and win the game for you. The starter is there to set the precedent of the game and put you in position to win, and the relievers and the closers are there to sustain what the starter built. Period. That's the way it's been since the beginning of baseball time, and that's the way that it always should be. Too many managers rely on the analytics part of it to say, well, if you can't do it, we've got 500 people behind you that can do it. We'll get this guy to throw 1 pitch, this guy to throw 6 pitches, this guy to throw 9 pitches, and this guy to throw 74 pitches. It ruins the beauty and the fundamental aspects of seeing what a guy's made of on that mound. That's why I actually like the 3-batter rule. I am not one for change. I am a purist of baseball, and I hate change. The 3-batter rule, I've been in favor of it since they even put it out, for discussion. I've been in favor of it. Let's make these people earn their stripes. Dusty Baker made these boys do it today, and he's going to continue to do that for at least the next 10 days so that he can see what people outside of the Greinkes and the Verlanders are made of. He knows what those guys are made of. Now the guys that are trying to make a name for themselves as part of the starting rotation, they've got to step up, take the loss if it comes, but be able to overcome what they're struggling with. I think that, Josh James, I think he's a great person to do it on his own without being told. But because you were dealing with struggles against Seattle, Dusty's not so stupid that he's going to go out there and just risk losing series after series to prove a point. He'll take the loss in a game when he has to, but the American League is still down. The American League is still not as talented as the National League, which is rare. But to be honest with you, you look at teams that are talented, but they're still a notch below the ladder that the National League is climbing with teams like St. Louis, Atlanta, Milwaukee, the Mets. Even the Cubs are sitting there. They struggle, but they're still up there talent-wise, where you have teams in the American League like Oakland and Tampa Bay that say, hey, they're great, they're this. Well, why can't they win anything when it really matters? Why? Why will they be surpassed again by a Toronto? Age-old question. Fundamentals will always reign supreme. Dusty Baker knows it. He eats, sleeps, and shits it. And he's going to prove it. He's going to prove it to a team full of young bucks like Bregman, who would believe in analytics over anything, especially considering who he's had as his manager in the past, which A.J. Hinch, I think, is a good manager. I do think that he's very analytically driven, though, and I don't think that that comes from being push towards that. I think that that's the way he was introduced into his role. Truth be told, Dusty Baker will never be that guy. He's in his 70s, guys. Let's face it. He's put this bullpen in great position to back James up. Now, the beauty is, because James is not the long-term pitcher, he hasn't had the experience to go out there and earn all of his stripes. If he gets into the fourth or fifth inning and has done decent, but now it's time to let somebody else take the reins, it's not going to be about proving something anymore. Dusty's going to say, he's done what he's able to do. Let's not be dumb. Let's bring in the bullpen now. And I think that that's going to be the deciding factor. Seattle's run through their bullpen. Their bullpen is depleted. I'm not saying they can't win it. It's baseball. Anything can happen. But if you look at true numbers, if you look at what the teams have going into this game, not only do the Astros have the offensive advantage, that's no question. But when we talk about defensive, which is what the true nature of this game is going to be about, starting pitching advantage goes to Houston with James, and the bullpen advantage goes to Houston in pretty dominant fashion. So because of that, I will be taking the Houston Astros on Monday as a premium play, and obviously, let's look at what the line is right this moment, because I'm sure it's too high to take the money line. Oh yeah, 260, but we can get the run line at minus 130. I'm perfectly fine with taking that. That line is coming directly from William Hill Vegas right now. Bovada's sitting at 135. 5 Dimes is sitting at 140. If you are using 5 Dimes, they are not letting you mark your starting pitchers. So, I mean, I would advise against using 5 Dimes this season. Bovada's still letting you do so. All of your domestic books, your Caesars, your William Hills, all that stuff, FanDuel, they let you. So mark your starting pitchers as you can as Graveman and James. And if not, either way, as long as James is still going, I'm okay with whoever the Mariners are going to throw in. They're using relievers all day anyway, so it's not going to matter. Houston Astros run line minus 130 is your free premium play. I will see you back for Tuesday. Make sure you jump on one of those discounts if you are interested, and be on the lookout. We actually may have some Monday horse racing, which is not very common, but he's already looking into one track. The weather's looking good right now, so hopefully we'll be able to do that. We've got a big week ahead, guys. A huge week of Major League Baseball, a big week of international baseball, and then we've got NASCAR coming up this weekend, as well as horse racing, and maybe even a little bit of surprise with a big play. Who knows? Been since early March since we had a game of the week or anything above that. This week may be the first one released in quite a while, so make sure you jump on board and you are subscribed. And oh, by the way, for the people that want to know, am I going to be doing a video every single day? I am not. Follow me on Twitter at PicksChase, PickSchase, and sign up for my email list on my website, because there's going to be one, maybe even 2 days every week that I just decide not to do a video, and I'm going to put it out on one of those two things. And if you're not there, you're not going to get it. So make sure you do it so you can still get every bit of free information that I decide to release at any given time. I love you guys. Thank you for all the support. Let's go have a huge, huge week. Congratulations to a fantastic start. 6-0 in the MLB season, and it's only going to get better from here. See you guys. Houston Astros run line minus 130. Go get it.